What's up, guys? Today on this video I'm going to show you how to sand and polish your stainless. Maybe you got some rod holders on your boat that are getting scratched up, or the bow rail on your boat is starting to get scratched up from being used after all the years and fighting and catching all those big fish. Or maybe you just got something at home that you want to polish up and you don't want to spend a bunch of money on a bunch of products and wheels and discs and pads and rouges and compounds. So I'm going to show you how to do this with pretty much the bare minimum essential products. So let's get started and I'll show you how to do it. Alright, so the stuff you'll need, all this stuff you can pretty much find at Harbor Freight. This rouge compound is the gray, which I've come to like with the stainless. These are like $8 for an entire tube of it from Harbor Freight. This is 320, 600, and 800 grit sandpaper. If you have real deep scratches, you might want to start with 180, but most of the time you can get away with 320. For what I'm demonstrating, I took a hand file and put a bunch of scratches and gouges to imitate wear and tear. So 320 is what we'll start with today, and then you'll finish it all the way with 800, or you can go even a little bit farther. You can go with like 1500 or 3000, and I'll probably do that too so you can see. But 320, 600, and 800, all that you can get at Harbor Freight. They come, you can buy them in like 3 packs all the way up to 10 packs, and they're pretty inexpensive. And then for polishing, just going to be using a rag wheel. You can find these at Harbor Freight too. They're a couple bucks. I don't think this one came from Harbor Freight, but I have the same exact one from Harbor Freight and use it all the time. And then I use it on an air-powered die grinder. So let's start sanding. Also, this is a Harbor Freight DA. I use it for all my sanding and polishing. I've had no problems with it. I really like it. So get our scratches there, and we're going to start sanding until you can start to see the scratches coming out. Alright, let's go to microfiber and wipe it off. Alright, so let's see what we got. And I'm just going to be doing just where I did the scratch. I'm not going to be doing the entire piece of tubing. But you can kind of see, we can see just a little bit of the scratches. I don't know if you can see that or not. So we're going to hit it just a little bit more. Alright, that'll probably be good right there. Yep, all the scratches are gone. Can't get your fingernail caught on them no more. So let's bump it up to 600. Start getting these 320 scratches out, and that's when it'll really start to look nice and shiny. Alright, got our 320 on the DA. Let's start polishing here. See, with that 320, you can starts polishing itself pretty much on the DA. So that was after the 600. So let's bump it up to 800 to get those 600 scratches out of it, and that's when we'll really start to see it starting to shine. All right, we got our 800. Here we go. Wipe that off. Starting to get a lot shinier compared to what it used to be. You can see it was all dull, and that's what we're looking there. Hit a little bit more with the 800. Alright. Sorry if the camera's so shaky. I'm trying to lean over top of the camera to do this. And hold it in my hand. When you're polishing something and it's fixed and you can really push on it with the DA and work on it, it makes it a whole lot easier. So there's what we started with, and there's where we're at. See if the camera can pick that up. That's where we started. And there's where we're at. You can still kind of see the DA marks. You can go ahead and polish this right now with that gray rouge. It'll come right out. But let's go a step farther and show you what happens if we hit it with some 3000, and then we'll polish it. All right, we got 3000 on the DA now. I don't think the Harbor Freight sells 3000. I buy it at the paint shop. It's pretty expensive, but here's why. Let's go. I mean, look at that. See if the camera can pick that up. Look at that. Most people, you would think that was polished. You can still see a little bit of scratches, but I mean, we only hit that for a second. So there was the 800, and then with the 3000, it's already shiny. So let's hit it some more, and then we'll polish it. Look at that. Look at that. I don't think the camera can pick up the reflection, but you can clearly see yourself in it. It's like a mirror. You know, there's where we started, and there's with the 3000. Camera picks up the little scratches pretty good, but for a lot of people, they'd be just fine and happy with that, especially if you're doing your boat or something like that where it's going to get beat up again pretty quick. I mean, if you stood a foot away from that, you wouldn't even be able to see any scratches in it. But let's get the rag wheel and the polish, the rouge, and let's start polishing it. Alright, the way that I do the rouge is I get my disc spinning, and I just stick the rouge on there to get it on the pad, like so. You don't need a lot. That's enough. We're ready to start. When this wheel is spinning this way, okay? If you hit the front edge with the way that it's spinning, it's going to grab that and it's going to rip this out of your hand. It's going to send this flying if it's not fixed, and it just makes a bad time. So you want to polish to about here, go all the way down, and then flip it around. If you can't flip it around, then you want to angle your tool the other way so that the wheel is spinning off. The wheel is spinning off of the back of it. If you come up here and hit that, that's no good. You want it to be spinning this way and spinning that way. So let's start polishing here. Turn that down a little bit. You don't need a lot of RPM. Once I see my rouge line getting kind of thin as I'm working my way down, that's when I apply just a little bit more rouge. You don't need a lot. Now I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to hit just this edge that I didn't get. And then you can go the other way too. Wipe that off and see what we got. Oh yeah, look at that. Mirror finish. You could probably use one more pass with the rouge, but this is just a scrap piece that we're using for an example, so it doesn't need to be perfect. But there's where we started, and that's what we finished with. So, you know, if you're doing something at your house, you know, you're doing your boat, your handrails, or you got something at your house like a table or railings inside your house, and you don't want to be slinging a bunch of compound, but you want to polish it up and make it look real nice. You know, you got family coming over. This is the easiest way to do it, cheapest way to do it. You don't need hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. You can buy stuff from Renegade if you want to polish extremely nice and make everything mirror finish and go through all the steps and make it real nice. Renegade products is who I suggest. They make the best polishing and detail stuff out there. But for something like this where you don't need to go crazy, this is the best way to do it. If the scratches were a little bit deeper than what they were, we'd go with like 180 instead of starting with 320, or you can get 220. Just depends on how deep you go or how deep the scratches are. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I don't know if the camera can pick up how shiny it is. And the camera likes to make it look not as nice as it is. but it's very shiny. It's like mirror finish. Especially if I hit it one more time, it'd be real nice. But you get the gist of it. Kind of like the more elbow grease you put in it, the better. The more you sand it and the finer grit you go, the shinier it'll be at the end. It's just kind of personal preference. But that's how you sand and polish stainless steel on a budget without spending a bunch of money, doing it quick and easy. So that's it. So if you guys got any questions, put it in the comments. If you guys got some stuff you need polished and you don't want to do it yourself and you want someone else to do, you don't feel comfortable, we at Gulf Coast Weld and Fabrication, we're here in Largo, Florida. Bring it on by and we'll get it polished and taken care of for you. So you guys have a good day.